I'm really sorry guys. I'm trying to tell my sister to shush, but she just would not shush, so I'm just gonna have to make the video over her talking. Yeah. So in this video I just wanted to talk about how my GCSE went for the first week. I took 5 exams, so I did RE, biology, English, history and maths. Let's start with RE. So RE I am actually proud of. I felt like it was a really good start into the exam because it wasn't like one of those like really hard subjects. Like if you knew the facts you could really like just talk around the facts, whereas like, you know, other subjects it's more about memorizing stuff. I revised like so much, and the advanced information, it did help, but what happened was I did a lot of practice papers and I kind of tried to guess what the questions were, and the questions that I thought it was going to be wasn't actually on the exam. So I was like really focusing on like the 5 pillars of Islam. I was focusing on crucifixion and resurrection in Christianity, because both of those are like the most important things in the religion. But then like turns out the stuff I revised at least were the 12 markers, which was a bummer, but I managed to answer all the questions and I'm confident that I passed that exam. Say biology. Once again, I revised so much of biology. It's like biology, I think it was a mix. It was okay. It was like one of those subjects where I was super prepared for. I made like posters for everything using the advanced information, but the only thing is there was some stuff that wasn't on the advanced information. I'm gonna remember this my entire life. But one of the questions was like, what is a symptom of salmonella? And you cannot use gonorrhea and vomiting. No, I get this wrong already. You cannot use vomiting and diarrhea. And then the answer was high fever. Most people got. I got gonorrhea. And gonorrhea is a separate disease. I only realised after the exam how stupid it sounded, because like I was asking everyone, is that right? And I was like so proud of myself, because I was like, I need to make an educated guess because I didn't know what it was, because I didn't revise it at all. And I thought it was going to be gonorrhea because it sounded like diarrhea, so that was my theory behind that test. So much graphs, and there was stuff about cancer mainly. Oh, what annoyed me so much was I memorized the experiments step by step, like the entire practical, and there was like just a few questions on food tests. Like the only food test question was on starch. Like it was just one mark, and then it started talking about enzymes, and I was like, you know what, with science exams it's literally about memory, but even if you don't memorize it stuff, it'll give you like something completely different that you've never ever seen before. To English. That was when I had a breakdown. Yeah, did you hear that? What was that? Pathetic fallacy, but I was barking. It honestly went so terrible. Like, when people say they do bad, like, they don't actually mean they do bad. Like I said, I did bad in the RE, but I didn't. But this test, I genuinely felt like I did terrible on. And the reason why I felt like I did terrible on is because, you know how you have like mock exams before your exams? I was like, I felt like I did way better on my mocks than this actual exam. And like, first of all, the extract was about a scorpion. And honestly, I think basically I followed this tip where I didn't read the extract first, so I just went straight into answering questions. So I was like so confused on what the story was. Turns out, you know, like after doing the story, someone told me that apparently the baby in this extract gets shot by a hunter. I'm like, whoa, so this story is actually interesting. But like, it was where a scorpion fell on a baby. Well, now saying that doesn't sound boring, but you had to describe like the father's reaction and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not being in the father's position, I don't know what it is. And like, it was just, I couldn't answer it. The structure, I mean cyclical. I've been trying so hard remembering why a cyclical structure is important, and there was none. I did not know what to put for structure. All I put was change in focus, which is probably completely wrong because every text does that. So got that completely wrong. And then when it came to the story, the picture, thank God there was that option to write a story about a life-saving moment. Because if you had to describe that picture, I would not be able to. I also memorized the story that I was going to do, but I literally did not fit the thing at all. And no, I did not use the pre-story, because I know loads of people use the pre-story. I made a story about like this old man like being back with his wife or something, but it did not match the life-saving moment, which was the brief of the story. I decided to talk about angels. Yeah. I did the night before was literally useless. So yeah, that was English. History. Okay, history. Favorite test out of all my exams this week. Teacher prepared us so well. It's like a picture in the sauce. Our teacher, by the way, she did not see the paper at all before because that's cheated. But she used a picture that was used exactly the same as today. It was just coincidence, and it just really shows that like teachers, they know what they're talking about. And I had like plans, I had like an idea of what I thought was the biggest breakthrough in medicine, and it just so happened that Louis Pasteur was on the test, and I was like January 1861, first day I put down, and that's the only day I remember, and the formation of NHS in 1948. Whatever grade I get, I know that I tried my hardest on that one. Okay, maths. Let's just say maths was a mix.
Can I say? I know trigonometry, algebra, econometry, geography, and everything to end with tree.
Started off like a breeze, and then when it got to like, I started fumbling when it was like the probability question. I've always sucked at doing probability question, other than when the probability has algebraic fractions in. And I knew I was fumbling because it was question 13 and I was doing algebraic fraction. And that was like, when I did the practicing class, that was question 22. So I knew I did something wrong, and I knew I overcomplicated. So I just left it and I carried on. When I got to the last few questions, I was like, what the heck is it asking me? Like, I was actually, you know what, when I was in the exam, I was confident. And then when I came out the exam and people started telling me like what they were doing and then when my teacher like did the paper himself and was like, this is how you do it, I was like, yeah, I did terrible on the exam. And that's just, I shouldn't worry too much about the exams. Like, I keep on reminiscing. Okay, no, that word's too fancy. I shouldn't keep like regretting the things I haven't done. I should, normal feeling to always feel like you haven't done enough in exams, but you just have to be proud of that moment, that you went through it and you kept on trying, because that's what I did. I kept on trying, even though I did not know what I was talking about, or I did not know if I was working out right. I just made calculated guesses. And you know what, like, revision, I don't know if it does help, but I feel like resilience, work ethic, that really does help during exams. I regret it because I'm now becoming like a super duper nerd, and I don't know if I love this super duper nerd persona that I give myself, because now I just feel like it's not normal to take a break. Like, I always feel guilty when I don't revise or if I take a break. But you should take breaks, because in the end these GCSEs late are gonna be a nightmare. They're gonna be so different to what you prepare for. Maybe I should tell my tips to myself. I might watch my tip video again. That was A-level stuff, and I thought I was being smart doing the method that I got taught in GCSE, but turns out it was the wrong method. But yeah. Oh yeah, so basically for the last question in maths, question 22, it was like the circle stuff, 3 circles, and it was finding the shaded area. Turns out you had to use exact trig, and like, that's the thing, when I came out of the exam, I was like, we did not do exact trig at all in that exam. I was like, that sounded weird, because why would they tell us to revise exact trig if it was on the exam? So that's how I knew I did question 22 wrong, because you were supposed to use exact trig. I don't know, when I was in that moment in maths, in doing that question 22, I started drawing triangles. I was like, maybe I'm supposed to use exactly. But then I was like, how is that going to help me answer the question? So I didn't do it. And then instead I drew squares and calculated as many areas as I could. Like 12, 13. And I haven't revised, which is crazy. But I'm going to revise tomorrow, obviously, because I'm not saying don't revise, because you should still have like some revision, but I just now don't want to revise 24/7. Like, I now know like what's worth it and what's not worth it. Next week I have English Lit, Christmas Carol, Inspector Call. I have RE Paper 2, which is so good. It's just basically your own opinion and backing it up with some quotes. And I have Chemistry, which I am not looking forward to because I'm terrible at science, but growth mindset, work your hardest. The process of doing something is always more important than the result. So just remember, it's your effort that what counts, and whatever grade you get, it was just meant to be. If you don't get grade 9, don't worry, don't cry, because I feel like I should tell myself don't cry, but any grade is fine. All you need is a pass, and remember, it's not at the end of the world, and just try your best, and honestly wish you the best for your exams. And just comment down below how you guys found the GCSE 2, or ranted about how much you don't like the exam parts. Thank you, bye.